Hey, everybody. Hope you are doing well. My open forum show. Wow, here we are. What a week this is going to be, huh? We've got the NBA play-in games that will lead us to the NBA playoffs. We've got the Stanley Cup playoffs. And then we've got the unbelievable final round of the Masters yesterday. Did you watch that? Seriously. How unbelievable was that? What an incredible spectacle of sport that had absolutely everything within a 5-hour window. I haven't watched anything like that in a long time. Absolutely incredible. I hope you had a chance to watch it. Maybe you're not a golf fan. I don't even think you had to be a golf fan to enjoy that yesterday. That was absolutely unfreaking believable. All right, Kings and Mavs coming up on Wednesday tomorrow, the Warriors and the Grizzlies. And so the 7-8 seed, they get an extra day of rest for the loser, as they should. You know, you should have an advantage if you're 7 or 8 as opposed to 9 and 10. The winner of the Mavs and the Kings will play either the Warriors or the Grizzlies, and the loser is done for the year. So it is truly a single game elimination coming up on Wednesday. To me, I give the Kings a 65% chance of winning this game. I think Dallas is going to have a real problem scoring with the Kings. I think the Kings have too much firepower for them. But we are talking about a Kings team at home that is not very good, that has been inconsistent. So I don't know what to think, you know? I don't know what to think. Somebody says, was I someone who thought Rory would choke again? Honestly, when he teed off in a regulation of 18 and hit a perfect drive, I was like, nope, it's done. Then when he hit a second shot into the bunker, I'm like, oh, no. So I didn't think that he would be able to gain his composure after the scene on 18 in regulation and the quick turnaround to go in with your scorecard, get in the golf cart, go back to the tee on 18 and hit a perfect drive again. Like I actually was thinking the worst in the playoff. I'm like, wow, Rory just missed his opportunity to win the Masters and win the Grand Slam. So yeah, I had doubts. Everyone had doubts. Everyone had doubts. Good to have Sherry on saying that she watched the Masters with son and husband. Was exciting. Loved McIlroy's heartfelt reaction at the end. Amazing. Never give up. You know that, Sherry. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. I don't know how you wouldn't get caught up with the emotion of Rory's reaction after the short putt on the first playoff hole. I mean, again, yesterday had everything. It had everything in a sporting event that I would want. It had, Rory's biggest competition yesterday was himself. It wasn't anyone else. Rory was clearly the best golfer of the tournament, but his biggest competitor was himself, his mind, his failures over the last decade in majors. He was playing against himself yesterday. He wasn't playing against Justin Rose. He wasn't playing against DeChambeau. He's playing against himself. He's playing against his mind. And he overcame it. He overcame it. What an incredible spectacle that was. Incredible. If we actually get into the playoff, what's the percentage to beat OKC? Slim to none? Percentage? I would say 5%. 5% maybe. I think, first of all, I think the winner of the Kings and the Mavs have a pretty decent chance if it's Memphis. I don't like the Kings' chances if they have to go and play the Warriors, but I do like their chances if they go and play Memphis, assuming they beat Dallas. Does the play-in make it unfair for the first-place teams because they won't know who the 8th place team is until the end of the week. So they have less time to game plan. But 2 4th place teams know their opponent. No, because when you win as many games as the number 1 seeds, they shouldn't have to worry about who their opponent is and game planning and everything. So, no, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think it matters. I mean, if you're the number 1 seed, if you're Oklahoma City, it really doesn't matter who you play in the play-in. In my opinion, doesn't matter. And they'll have game plans after the first round of the 2 possible opponents. They'll have a plan A and a plan B. So it's not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. It says it all right here. 6 lifetime slam winners in golf and 8 in tennis. Rare feat. Yeah. Says it all right there. When you're only one of 6 people ever to do something, that says a lot. Right? That says a lot. Matter of fact, it says it all. I couldn't see the Warriors losing 2 home games in the play-in. Not unless Jimmy Butler doesn't play. I know he took a thigh to the, or a knee to the thigh, and I don't see Golden State losing to Memphis. I really don't. Do I think the Warriors wanted the Rockets over the Lakers? Yes, I do, but I also believe that they were trying to win that game against the Clippers. And of course, that doesn't put them against the Lakers anyway, but well, let me rephrase that. If I'm the Warriors, do I want to play the Rockets, a team with very little playoff experience, relatively speaking? Would I rather play them than play Luka and LeBron? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I think the Warriors are in a pretty good position here if they beat Memphis. I think they'll give Houston a run for their money. Actually, I think they will beat Houston if they're healthy. So, yes, I do. All right, if you want to get in on the program, would love to have you. You can call the show. Happy to have you right here on If You Don't Like That. There is your link. You got the QR code over my shoulder. That will get you right on the program. And I'd be happy to talk to you here on If You Don't Like That. I'm not a fan of the play-in. It is what it is. I understand why the league does it, but I'm not a fan. And I think that teams that are under 500 should not be having a right to go in and play in the postseason. I'm not a fan of that. And I'm looking at the East, and that's worse than the West. So, but I'm not a fan of it. I'm just not a fan of it at all. I guess the fans that pay their money are probably happy that, you know, their team has a quote-unquote meaningful game. But you're going to have to win at home, which, you know, again, I think you will. All right? I think you will beat Dallas. I think you'll have almost a 50% chance of winning against the Grizzlies if you play them, less if you have to play the Warriors. All right? So, yeah. Patrick says some rally by Stockton, especially when Mason Jones went down. But they score 45 points in the fourth quarter, huh? So congratulations to them to win the G League title. Is Malik done this year due to the injury? He's done for the play-in, but after that, to be determined. I think, you know, again, you're talking about a game on Wednesday, and if you win a game at you're either going to Memphis or Golden State on Friday, and Malik's already been ruled out for that. So after that, you'd have to wait and see. Our season may end soon. Which point guard would be available for the Kings to pick up? Too early to talk about that. I don't know, James. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know, James. How would I know if Oklahoma City would sweep the Kings, James? Come on. I think when you look at the Kings season to this point, it's been a failure. With 2 wins and a 8th place appearance against Oklahoma City wash away the 82 game season, I don't think it would wash it away. It would make it feel a little bit better, but you'd have very little chance of beating Oklahoma City, and then you'd lose your draft pick. So it depends how you look at it as a fan. Depends how you look at it as a fan. Personally, I think this season has been a disaster. Do I think Anthony Davis plays on Wednesday? Yes, I do. He has to play. If they don't play, if he doesn't play, they have no joint. They have no chance. Now, will he get hurt in the middle of the game? Who knows with him? You never know with Anthony Davis. But I do know when he's on the floor and he's right, he's the real freaking deal. I'll tell you what else is the real freaking deal. That's New Works Plumbing. When you have plumbing needs, plumbing repairs, they're awesome. New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. Give them a call. Go to the website right there on your screen or newworksplumbing.com, NEWWRXplumbing.com. New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. If you want to call the show, you can. Happy to have you here. Oh, yes, we've got a call right here. Let's get to the man. I haven't been in a while. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I've been working a lot, though, so I haven't been able to call as much.
Good.
But I've been watching, and this Kings team, we've got a lot of good 2 guards, just no point guard, and this offense stagnates so much because of it.
That's correct. Yep.
Like it like really hurts me to watch it sometimes. Like my eyeballs literally burn sometimes when I'm watching because of it.
It's a real glaring mistake by Monty McNair over the last couple of years with this franchise. No, there's no doubt about that.
We've preached it on the show how many times?
Well, I've been talking about it for years now. I've been talking about it. I've been, and Ryan and, you and others, but I mean, I've been, to me, it's the biggest issue with the Kings. It's the biggest issue.
When we had Fox, you kept preaching about a backup, and then, you trade Fox and get no starter. You have no starter or a backup.
Yep. It's really a glaring mistakes by Monty McNair, and I don't understand how he could put together a team without the most important position on the floor. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. If this team had just someone that could keep this offense, in rhythm and facilitate, I would say we'd probably been pushing, 48 wins with just that. But without that, there's some games that we should have won, but our offense just stayed stagnant, and it was just ugly.
Yeah, and the other biggest issue with the Kings has been their defense and their perimeter defense, which just is mind-boggling how bad their perimeter defense has been.
Yeah, and then I think you hit it on the nail with the Warriors probably giving Houston for their money. I got a couple of Warriors fans at work. They all said, you know what? Screw the 6th seed. I'd rather play Houston than the Lakers first round.
Yeah. Well, because I wouldn't want to see the Lakers in the first round if I'm a team. Give me a team with the less experience that's kind of tasting this for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to play LeBron and Luka first round?
Yep.
That's not fun. Like, You have a guy that's coming off of leading a team to a championship and a guy who is in the GOAT conversation.
Yes. Yeah, no question about that. Yep. All right, buddy. Anything else?
Good night, everybody. I think that is all for today.
All right, take care. Good hearing from you. If you want to get on the show, it's easy to do. We would love to have you right here on If You Don't Like That. I don't understand how Monty McNair has gone this long and not truly addressed that need. Like I don't understand it. I just, it's a glaring mistake that he has made repeatedly. Repeatedly. All right, again, if you want to get in on the program, let me put that link up for you. All right. You can click on this link. You'll get on the show. Or you can just continue to hit me up on the chat line, and we can communicate that way here on If You Don't Like That. Don't forget, Wednesday, we got you fully covered. Rhino with the pregame show, with the halftime show, Jerry Reynolds, postgame show, your phone calls. It's all coming up on Wednesday. Do you think the Kings beat the Mavs on Wednesday? How confident are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being very little confidence, 10 being maximum confidence. Where are you? Give me a number on how confident you are with the Kings winning. I'm going to give them a 7. I can't give them more than a 7, but that's just me. You think that it's more than 7 or less than 7? Give me a number. What's your confidence level of Wednesday? I'm at 7. I think I can't, there's no reason. You can see all the numbers coming up on the chat line. There's no reason for me to be able to give this team more than a 7 in terms of confidence, especially at home where they have had a losing record. And without Malik Monk, in order for the Kings to win Wednesday and then again on Friday without knowing who their opponent would be, Levine and DeRozan have to combine for 50 or more points. And if not, then the Kings won't win. They're going to have to combine, and I think it's probably closer to 60, but I'm going to say a minimum of 50 and probably 60 points. And you cannot be shooting a low percentage from 3 either. I'm looking at all the numbers between 5 and 7. I mean, that says it all right there. A 40-win team, losing record at home, and everyone's right now between a 5 and a 7. Can't really argue with that. Can't argue with that at all. It looks like I'm on the high side with a 7. Looks like I'm on the high side with a 7. So, good job there. Everyone's right between 5 and 7. Hey, don't forget about Sunrise Landing in Calusa. If you're thinking to relocate to a beautiful area, go to CalusaSunrise.com and get all the information you need on Sunrise Landing. Beautiful models to choose from. Remember, there's no Mellorews, no homeowners. This beautiful project by Blazona Development. Go to CalusaSunrise.com and check out everything. Whoops. Yeah, you know, if you need plumbing, you can call New Works Plumbing too. But Sunrise Landing in Calusa is awesome. And I tell you, I've had a few people say, Napes, I took a drive out there to check it out, and wow, they were really impressed. I think you'll be impressed too. Go to CalusaSunrise.com. Remember, I-5, Highway 45, Highway 20 will get you there. And CalusaSunrise.com. Give you all the information you need with beautiful Sunrise Landing. You know, I'm looking at all these numbers, 5s, 6s, 7s. Wow. This is interesting. I have less fear facing the Grizzlies than the Mavs. Well, you don't know if you're going to be facing the Grizzlies yet if you beat Dallas, right? We don't know that yet. If you beat Dallas, you might, again, have to play the Golden State Warriors. All right? You might have to play the Golden State Warriors. Do I think they'll end up playing the Warriors? No, I don't. I think they'll end up playing Memphis because I think Golden State will beat Memphis tomorrow. But, if Jimmy Butler can't play, and again, I haven't heard anything to the contrary, but they were speculating after the game against the Clippers after taking the knee in the thigh from Kawhi Leonard. We'll see. I think that even Dallas would have a legitimate chance. The reason why I say this, a legitimate chance against Memphis is in disarray right now. And I don't think mentally they're all there. I just look at that team, and with the injury a couple of days ago to Wells, the rookie, who was playing so well, the only way they're going to win is Morant and Bane have to go off. DeRozan and Levine seemingly always play well against Memphis in their careers. I just, I don't see it. I don't see it. Says, I agree with you, Grant. Levine and DeMar need to combine for 50 or more to beat Dallas. And I'd rather play Memphis if we beat Dallas. Of course, you'd rather play Memphis. In my opinion, Memphis is the most vulnerable opponent for Sacramento, and I think we would all agree than Golden State. Don't give me the Warriors in a 48-minute winner-take-all game. I've already seen that. I don't want that. Now you can say, well, what about last year? This Warriors team this year is significantly better than the Warriors team that the Kings faced last year. It's significantly better because of Jimmy Butler. That's how I look at that. So you better get to the line. You better stay out of foul trouble, because the one thing the Warriors have, that the Mavericks have, they're bigs, they're active. They can create a lot of problems around the basket, assuming they all play. That's going to be Dallas's game plan. And the Kings hopefully are up for the challenge. How great would it be to knock off the Warriors, though? It would be always great, but I think that's unrealistic. I just, you got to look at matchups. You got to look at teams and how they're playing and what's going on in their locker room. And the Memphis Grizzlies got some issues right now. They have some issues. And I also want to say, to me, these two games, for me, they're not going to erase what I just saw in 82 games. It's just not. The Kings have some very glaring weaknesses that they better fix in the offseason. They better get going this offseason. And they better get what they need. And then you got to wonder, well, does Sabonis want to be here? Is he going to ask to be traded? And, what's going to be going on with the general manager? What's going to be going on with the coach? I don't have a good feeling about it. I don't. Could Doug be coaching for his future with these two games? Knowing the owner, yes, but I don't think that should factor in. You already have a sample size. Go by what you just saw. But we'll see. Sabonis and Valanciunas have to stay out of foul trouble. True. Said the Stockton Kings are the G League champs. Yes, they are. Congratulations to them. I'm surprised there weren't more people at their games. That's a little surprising to me. But yeah, congratulations to them. I don't get really caught up in the G League, so forgive me. It's not a big deal to me. It's a big deal to them, and I'm happy for them. It's not a big deal to me. Garrison says my confidence level is a 3. This is the same team that lost to the worst team in the Eastern Conference. Yeah. They lost to a lot of bad teams, Garrison. Yeah, I don't know which team shows up. I really don't. You tell me. Again, I asked for a number. Excuse me. Forgive me. Fighting a cold here. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. Grateful for your support. Thank you. Put you up on the screen. Thank you for another season in the books. Keep going next year. Oh, we will. We love doing this show. We will. Appreciate that. I hope you've enjoyed the full season of coverage, and hopefully, we get to do at least 6 more games. That would be great. Wednesday, Friday, and then the playoffs. I really believe that if Golden State beats Memphis, I believe that the winner of Wednesday's game in Sacramento has a very decent chance of beating Memphis. I really do. I think it can happen. And I think I'd say it probably would happen. I think Sacramento matches up very well against this Memphis team. Hey, Connor with Element Mortgage. He is awesome. You got the QR code up there. Let me get rid of the smaller QR code because I don't want to confuse you with too many QR codes. So I'll get rid of the one for the show. Connor with Element Mortgage is someone you can trust. Loads of experience. The team behind him, over 100 years of experience. And when it comes to real estate agent, Connor is your guy from Folsom. So he's a local guy. If you want to, talk to him about Kings and the history, he'll be able to deal with that too. He loves Sacramento, loves the Kings, but he's really good at what he does. That's Connor with Element Mortgage. I'm going to put the number up on the screen if you don't like using QR codes to get a hold of him. 916-505-1006. 916-505-1006. That's Connor with Element Mortgage. Give him a call. You'll be glad that you did. All right, so tomorrow I'll be doing another show. I kind of changed my times around to be able to accommodate people that live in different time zones. But, I know tomorrow there's a game going on with the Grizzlies and the Warriors, and I know a lot of people are going to be caught up on that, but I've always felt, I've got a monitor in front of me. I can watch the game and talk to you at the same time. So I'm going to do a show tomorrow again at 8 o'clock. Then Wednesday, we get you right into the Kings coverage. We got the Kings Court. We got the pregame show. We got the halftime show with Jerry and the postgame show. I just hope that we're not sitting here on Wednesday night at 10 o'clock talking about what an embarrassment the game was against the Mavericks, because we could go down that road. That could happen with this team. Any update on Monk and on LaRavia? I don't have any update on LaRavia, but they had already said that Monk was going to miss the play-in. I think the Nuggets and the Clippers will be a very good matchup. That's going to be a very good matchup. Yeah, Phoenix firing Mike Budenholzer. What a mess the Phoenix Suns are. Man. I have not spoken to Michael Malone, but I have talked about the firing on my show. Yes, I have. I'm happy for Mike Bibby. I'm a big fan of Mike. I hope he does well. As far as Shaq's son at Sac State, I don't. That doesn't matter to me. But I know Mike. I'm a big fan of Mike, and I hope that Mike does very well. I'm rooting for Mike. Phoenix, there's a problem. You're right about that, Patrick. Man, what a mess. What an absolute mess. Yeah. You think about Phoenix, their team will look completely different next year. You look at what's gone on in Dallas. You talk about the pressure on the Mavericks. Boy, on the heels of the Luka trade, if they go into Sacramento and get blown out, I bet you a lot of the Mavs fans are rooting for that. they're so disgusted at the front office. They're probably not even rooting for their team to beat the Kings on Wednesday. But this is internally speaking, this is a big game for the Mavericks, boy. Oh, boy. Wow. And Nico Harrison. Oh, wow. And the following game would be as well. So, yeah. You talk about a trade. Can you imagine if the Lakers end up winning the West or going to the Western Conference Finals with Luka leading the way? Oh, how difficult to be a Mavericks fan. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Yeah. They had such a good young core, too. Ruined it all. D-book for KD and Beal. Talk about laying an egg. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. See, this I disagree with you 100%. Sixers, Mavs, Suns, these teams underachieve so much that the Kings don't look that bad. I disagree with you. I think the Kings look very bad. I don't agree with that assessment at all. They underachieved. If Keegan is 4 of 11, 2 of 8 from 3 for 10, the Kings will lose. Against Dallas, I don't think so. Yes, we are appealing. We are appealing the decision. Thank you very much for your super chat. I appreciate it. I think Keegan will be fine. And I think against the Mavs, you probably don't need his offense as much. I think you will moving on if you beat Dallas. But I think Keegan's defense in this matchup with their bigs and everything, I think that's going to be more important than anything else. So I think I'm not worried about that much. I'm really not. You know, it doesn't matter what happened during the regular season. It's irrelevant. Only concern is not having Monk and losing to terrible teams. Again, I don't agree with what you said, but thank you for the chat. If the Chiefs traded Mahomes, would that be worse than the Luka trade? No, because the Chiefs have already won multiple Super Bowls with Mahomes. So, yeah. Do I plan on watching playoff games? Yes, I will watch almost all of the NHL playoffs. That's what I'll be watching. All right, tomorrow, 8 o'clock, right back here. Appreciate you. We're rolling off. All right, I want to just get on, do a quick show, get everything going, and we'll be back tomorrow to talk more. Congratulations to the Stockton Kings. Thank you very much for your support. Talk to you tomorrow, everybody. Bye-bye.